Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So we got a few celebrity news and gossip things to talk about. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some housekeeping in some meat potato items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this platform, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the TikTok. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagrammies at AnonymousRealityTVBlogger. And also, you guys, it is free to share everywhere, you guys. So this video gets out here into the algorithm. So we need to talk about, you guys, some things that have gone down. So there's some pre-sale ticket prices that have dropped, you guys, for the Cowboy Carter Chitlin Circuit tour, you guys. So, a Beehive member had tweeted that there were U.S. ticket prices in all sections, and they were alleging that the tickets started out, if you were trying to go up in the upper levels, of between $89 and $300, but the Hive quickly came in there and said those tickets do not exist. It starts at $600. And then, you guys, since it starts at $600, the rest of the tickets that I saw, it said for the Section 100s, it goes from $500 to $1,000. And the tweet said letters A through F, $500 to $1,500. And it said the Club Hoedown, $700 to $750. It says the Buckin' Honey Pits, $1,500 plus. And then it says the Real Live Boogie VIP, $2,500 plus on Ticketmaster. And this is not including the taxes and the fees. And this is definitely not including, if you get a VIP ticket, a meet and greet with Beyonce. Doesn't exist, you guys. Doesn't exist. She doesn't meet y'all. She doesn't talk to y'all. No. I need the Hive. I need to know in the comments, are you purchasing these tickets? Because I'm trying to figure out, number one, it's Black History Month. Number two, these jobs are awesome. You better be working twice as hard for us to justify keeping your behind on the job type of time. So I'm trying to figure out if you're going to risk it for this biscuit just to see Cowboy Carter. Now, I've already been to quite a few Beyonce concerts, so I'm not pressed about this. And here's the thing. If I am spending $2,700 on a ticket, I better be meeting the artist. I better be meeting the artist. We better be taking photos. We better be having a conversation. Oh, wait, I have done that. The artist just wasn't Beyonce. The artist wasn't Beyonce, because no artist is charging that type of money and there not being a meet and greet attached to it. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, you guys. So then we have Drake, you guys. Drake, who refuses to address Kendrick Lamar, who refuses to just put out a response to Not Like Us so that this can all go away from you getting dragged, from you getting trolled, and then the whole nine, and people all saying in unison, A minor. Like all of it can go away. But you are insistent on this foolishness, whether it is the lawsuits. And what do you do now, right? Literally, if you blinked and missed Serena Williams crip walking at the Super Bowl, that her husband is explaining that this was in response to when she was criticized for doing it, when she won her match, and all the things, that this is bigger than the Super Bowl, it's bigger than the music, but also, it also is shade to Drake. So Drake thought it was a great idea to post this picture, you guys, of him with Serena Williams' ex-agent. And it's like, Kendrick was the one that was at you that said, hey, Drake, with a Kool-Aid smile on his face, and you have no smoke for him. All your best comeback is to come back at Serena. And here's the thing, Stephen A. Smith, who has a problem with Serena Williams performing at the Super Bowl, which I would think would be a big deal regardless. She didn't say anything. She was just crip walking, talking about that would, if that was your wife and what you would do and da-da-da-da. That's why you're not married, Stephen A. That's why you do not have a wife, Stephen A. Smith. Make it make sense. But see, my issue, Stephen A., is you don't know the full context of everything. Drake has been throwing shots at SERENA and her husband for like about 4 or 5 songs. He's been throwing multiple shots at Rihanna and A$AP Rocky and multiple songs. He is the ex that cannot let go, and thinks by trying to throw all this shade and shade their significant others that that's going to make them come crawling back to them. Now, it is interesting because I think it was a year or two ago that SERENA did somehow show up at Drake's Super Bowl party, but that's none of my business. That's none of my business. But nonetheless, you might want to sit this one out, Stephen A., because you don't have all the facts. Just like you didn't have all the facts when you said that black people were going to vote for Trump because they're criminals like him. Like, just take a seat. Just have a seat, you guys. And so then the final thing I want to get to is none other than Roc Nation and the cooking of the numbers, allegedly, once again. So, you know, Jay-Z is not new to this. He's true to this. When he was the majority owner of Tidal, remember the big scandal when Lemonade came out, and I believe when it was Kanye West, I want to say it was My Dark Twisted Fantasy. I'm sure y'all will correct me in the comments, but this is going off the cuff. They were under investigation because they said that the stream numbers were cooked. The stream numbers were inflated for Lemonade and Kanye West's album. And that the issue is that if you took 24 hours a day and you listen to these albums back to back to back, and you listen to these songs back to back to back, it was impossible to come up with the billions of streams that they were claiming in such a short period of time, because the number of streams determines the number of payouts and so on and so forth. And they do that again to, you know, help, because now streaming numbers are also included as a part of album sales and everything else. And they said it was fake news and that they were reported to release the real numbers of what was being streamed. And remember, after that whole snafu, that whole scandal, shortly after, we're hearing Jay-Z selling majority stock of Tidal. So, not new to this, true to this. But what has happened now, you guys, there's an allegation that the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl was the most watched ever in the history of Super Bowl performances. Roc Nation posted, "We've broken the record again. The most watched Apple Music Super Bowl halftime show ever with 103.5 million views. Except for, you guys just said last year that the most watched Apple Music halftime show ever went to Usher with 202.4 million viewers." So fans were calling out Roc Nation, and Roc Nation turned off their comments. So here's the thing, because they're really trying to, the Carters have this fixation with the Jackson family. I don't know what it is. All these articles are like, oh, this is more viewed than Michael Jackson. So I just want to break something down for you guys. So they're saying Kendrick Lamar had these amazing numbers, which a lot of people tuned in, no shade. But the actual Super Bowl itself, the overall had 137 million views, and the average, I think, for the entire night was around like 126 million. But really, at the time that Kendrick Lamar performed, it was at that 133.5 million. But basically, only Kendrick Lamar, at that point, the ratings, where the viewership was starting to decrease because Kansas City was getting that butt whooped. so it wasn't, compared to Usher, compared to Rihanna compared to previous Super Bowl performances, the actual viewership increased specifically to see the artist. Technically, the viewership has decreased because people were probably the Chiefs fans were not trying to see, you know, the rest of this, and probably were like with Donald Trump and left after halftime. Now, it's no shade. A lot of people still watch Kendrick Lamar's performance. It's sparking some backlash because people felt it was too political or whatever, but there's a lot of people who just didn't understand the mechanics of it, of what the political message actually was, and people have a problem with all the black men forming the American flag. That is, MAGA is not feeling that at all. But the fact of the matter is, you guys, our population with streaming, with everything else, in the grand scheme of things, I would say about 40% of the nation of the population watch Kendrick's Super Bowl performance. Michael Jackson had allegedly, if that number is true, that, you know, whatever the number was for MJ, I believe it was like 133.4. And so they're trying to say Kendrick beat him 133.5. But the thing is, at the time in 1993, there was no internet, there was no streaming, and the U.S. population at the time was 260 million. And Michael Jackson is the only artist that I remember that would shut down TV shows and everything else for a premiere of a music video, like the Remember the Time video. You had to get home by 8 p.m. or you missed it. I remembered that as a kid. So nonetheless, and it's no shade to Kendrick Lamar, but the U.S. population right now is allegedly 335 million people. So Michael Jackson had at least 50% of the people tuned into him. Kendrick more so 40%. So if we're going to tell it like Usher says, you better tell it all. We gotta tell it all. And the math is not mathing for me, especially if Roc Nation is just going to put out blatant lies just to, you know, throw shots at people and throw shade at others. Like, isn't Usher your friend, Jay-Z? Like, is this how we're doing? Is this how we're moving? Like, I feel like this whole Kendrick had the most ever was to throw shade at Michael Jackson and was to throw shade at Drake. And it's just not landing. It's not landing for me, you guys. It is not landing, especially if y'all said Usher had the most watch ever at 200 or over 200 million views, you guys. Now, nonetheless, the true test of time, you guys, will be on what is on YouTube, because what I find interesting on YouTube, when you go to the NFL, you guys, and you go to look at their uploads of these performances, of, you know, what their, you know, what the most viewed is and all this and that. Still, you guys, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige have 328 million views. To this day, they're still the most watched on YouTube. Shakira and J-Lo is second with 321 million. Rihanna is third at 260 million. Beyonce, Bruno Mars, and I believe that was what, Coldplay, has 195 million, and then Coldplay's entire show has the 141 million, and then Katy Perry is at 102 million, then Lady Gaga is at 79 million, and then The Weeknd is at 68 million. Right now, Kendrick Lamar is at 37 million, so he actually has surpassed Usher. Usher has 33 million, and then after that, it is Maroon 5 with 22 million. So I just wanted to put it to perspective for you guys, and also have the receipts that, you know, we have to be careful sometimes with Roc Nation's inflation of things and how Jay-Z likes to inflate certain things. Like I know you're on the high of being the activities coordinator for the NFL and all this and that, the Super Bowl coordinator for as long as this lasts, as long as Donald Trump doesn't put it in order to ban black people from performing at the Super Bowl in future years, but nonetheless, why can't we just keep it a buck? Like, why do we need to lie about numbers? We know a lot of people watched it because either you loved it if you understood the message and you were a Kendrick fan, or you hated it because you didn't understand the message, or you didn't feel that he performed his hits, or you felt it was too political, or you were MAGA and just felt that this was just wrong on so many levels, and da 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 da. Or you only knew Not Like Us, and da 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 da. Or you only knew turn the TV off, turn the TV, or whatever. We know, but the bottom line is, you don't gotta lie to kick it. So there's that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.